There's a lot of parts that go into teaching your dog to walk nicely on a loose leash. There's one skill that's often overlooked, and that's why this skill is going to transform your leash walking training. So what does teaching your dog an automatic sit have to do with your leash walking training? Because you're not walking, you're stopping. Well, there's three big reasons why I teach my dog an automatic sit. And the first one is safety. I want to teach my dog when I come to a stop, you sit nice and close to me. So if we're on a sidewalk, a bike could go by or people could go by. If I'm hiking out on a trail and there's mountain bikes going by, I want my dogs to be able to sit where they're not going to be in any danger of getting in anybody else's way. There's also the control side. If my dog knows to sit at my side automatically when I come to a stop, they're not pulling me to see that neighbor of mine that I haven't seen for a couple of days, or they're not jumping on them when that neighbor comes up. I'm preventing a lot of the behaviors that I don't want to have happen because my dog knows how to sit. The third one, and probably the most important one, is the idea of leadership. If my dog is so in tune with me that the moment I slow down and I pause, my dog's butt hits the ground and they hang out looking at me, that's a really powerful moment in your dog training. It's a very powerful moment in your relationship with your dog. That leadership aspect and having them understand to pay attention to your motion really makes the biggest difference overall. I'm going to teach this to Kalani, and when you're teaching this with your dog, it's important that you find a spot that's a little bit quieter and maybe a little bit out of the way. I'm here on the McCann Dogs property. There's not a lot going on. It's a lovely day, but I'm picking this situation intentionally so that I can really focus on the sit and just not have to deal with some of those distractions that the dogs see every day. For you and your dog, that might be just in the backyard or in a green space around your house or even in an empty parking lot, someplace that has a little bit of space where they're not going to be bombarded with distractions all the time, and we can spend that time teaching our dogs. So what are we going to need for training today? Well, I'm here in the McCann Dogs store. I'm going to wander over and get myself a treat training pouch. I'm going to need a 6-foot McCann Dogs leather leash. I'm going to need one of those. And I'm going to be working with Kalani today. And I know Kalani's a busy dog, so I'm going to grab a gentle leader because I know that's something that's going to help her be a little bit more settled, be a little bit more successful. So let's go. So anytime I want my dog to do something, it's really important that I take the time to teach her how to do this. Now, little Kalani here knows how to sit, but she doesn't necessarily know where to sit. I want her to know that she needs to sit at my left-hand side because that's also our walking position. So I'm going to take a little bit of food out here, and I'm simply going to show her where it is I want her to sit. We start our walks this way with me telling her get in, and I lure her into that position. Good girl, excellent. Once she's there, I make sure that this leash is organized so that she has slack. There's no tension on the leash, but she can't really go very far because I need to show her what it is I want. Now, I got some food out here to show her, and she moved out of that sit. So the first thing I want to do is just start to pattern, here's where you sit. Because if she moved and I fed her, she starts to think, oh, I can sit wherever. So no cookies for that, no big deal. But I'm gonna start to pattern when I move, here's how to sit. So I'm just gonna take a couple of steps. Now I've got food in this hand ready to go. I'm gonna show her, here's what to do when we stop. Okay, sit. Yes, good girl. It's right there. It's right in your snoot. Now, like most puppies, she's getting distracted and excited by things, so sometimes she misses the treat. No big deal, I'm just gonna help her. I'm gonna get out some more food and try again. Hey, miss. Hey, you, I'm up here. Hi, I'm up here. I know my shoes smell like dogs. Good. Okay. Sit. Yes, good girl. Okay. Sit. Yes, good girly. Good job. I'm making sure that she is always right. Okay. Sit. I'm not hoping she sits. I'm showing her how to sit. Okay. Yes. And this isn't very much focused on the walking. This is focusing on the sitting. Now, she's starting to get this. So here's the change I'm going to make now. I am still going to just take a couple of steps. I'm still going to say sit, but I'm just going to pretend to have a little food in my hand and see if she can start to put that together. Are you ready, miss? Okay, sit. Yes, good girl. So I got my sit. I said yes. Now I'm going to go to my food and reward. Very good girl. Excellent puppy. So even though this sit is part of our walking, I am focusing on just the sit right now because where she sits is so important. Come on up here, girlie. Now, she had a little lay down, so no big deal, but we're working, kid. We got to do the thing. Good. I'm going to get her moving again. Ready, set, okay. Sit. Yes, good girlie. Okay, sit. Good. Now, I pulled food out a couple more times to refresh her. Third one, okay. Sit. Yes, good girl. That's what I want. I'm taking away that help in little teeny steps to ensure that she is right every single time. You'll probably notice that I'm talking to you guys, but my attention is really on her. I want her to know my voice has value, my voice is important. And let's face it, she's a puppy. If I looked away from her and just talked to you guys, she would disconnect from me. She would look elsewhere in the world. So when you're working this with your dog at home, you need to be engaged with your dog, with your voice and your attention. That's why we do this for little bits of time. I don't go out and expect to do this for an hour. I'm gonna spend 2-3 minutes doing this. I give the dog all my energy, and then I take a break because dog training is exhausting, and then I try it again. Anytime I'm teaching my dog to walk, it's not about going for the walking route, it's about spending the time teaching the skill. Teaching our dog to walk nicely on a loose leash and taking them for a walk are very different things. And teaching the sit is all about teaching them to walk as well. Kalani's starting to get the idea that when I slow down and stop, she should pay attention to me and sit. I've been using food, I've been saying sit, I started to wean away from that food. Now I'm gonna add a little bit more distance in my walking. So instead of just 2 steps and sit, I might walk 10 or 15 feet. Now, while that walking is going on, I'm going to stay engaged with my voice. I'm going to talk to her the whole time. I am still going to reward her for great walking position. But the thing that's going to tell her that we're stopping is I'm going to slow down gradually. I'm going to pick up my voice so that she pays attention to me. And then I'm going to say sit as I come to a stop. I'm not going to jam on the brakes and pull on her and expect her to do it. I need to show her a change is coming. So I'm walking with my good purposeful pace. I'm talking to her as we go. Yes, good girl. And Kalani knows how to walk a little bit. She's been being taught this. Oops, girlie, come on up here. There's my girl. Good job. So I'm walking fairly quickly. Oh my gosh. Are you ready? Are you set? You are super cute. Sit. Excellent job. What a good girl. So Kalani's starting to understand that when I slow down, her job is to sit. But in real life, there's times where I need to have my dog sit in a certain spot. If I'm walking down the sidewalk and I come to a crosswalk, I want my dog to pause and sit with me while we wait for that light to turn. So you can set this up in your training with your dog. I'm here on the grass. We've got the grass finishing and the road coming from there. So that's the mark we're going to work to. Now, because we've moved positions and there's new spots, I am going to go back to showing her how to do this. I am going to have some food in my hand and I'm going to slow down a few steps from that line and then work that sit as I come to a stop, doing my best to help her sit perfectly right near that line. So I've got some food in my hand ready to go again because we're doing teaching again. I'm going to get her in that position I want. We're going to tell her, let's go, let's go. Yes, good girlie. Oh my gosh, holy cow, amazing. Sit. Yes, good girl. Good sit. Excellent girl. What a good puppy dog. So I came to a stop at a nice safe distance from the road. She knows to hold position. I can look both ways. Hey miss, I'm up here. Good job. And then whenever I'm ready, I'm going to tell her, hey, you, I'm up here. What's up? There she is. Okay, let's go. Good. Now, just for practice sake, I'm going to head on back and try that again. Let's go, girl. Come on, let's go. Where's my pup? Pup, pup, pup. Ready, set? Oh, yes, I'm up here. Now, here's something to note. So I've been working this sit for just a little bit, and Kalani's saying now, oh my gosh, I'm tired. My brain is tired. I want to do something else. You know, you want to keep these training sessions short, but I also just can't let the dog decide to be done. So here's what we're going to do, okay? I'm just going to pop her up into a sit. Hey, miss, sit. Good. And I'm going to get her re-engaged, and I'm just going to do a couple more sits, and then I'm going to work a little bit of a play. Good. Okay, let's go. There's my girl. Good job. Hooray. Good job. Sit. Yes, good sit. Good girl. I might pick up my pace for a couple more. It's right here, miss. It's right here. Sit. Good. That's better. And this is the leadership portion of your dog training. This sit is very much a leadership exercise. I need her to know she needs to wait for my permission to move from the spot. She also needs to pay attention to me. There's my girl. Good job. Until I decide she shouldn't. So I'm going to go back to luring because she's a little tired. Let's go. Good job. Yes, good. Let's go. Excellent work. Very good. I'm going to yes and reward her again. There's my girl. What a good puppy dog. Hooray. Holy cow, you're amazing. Very nice. Are you ready? Are you set? Yes, good girl. What a good puppy dog. Excellent job. Very nice. So not only did I get the sit, and I got the sit where I wanted, but I also started to tell her, hey miss, you know what? You're not allowed to decide when training starts and stops. I decide when training starts and stops. So in that moment, Kalani was getting a little tired. We've been doing some training and she said, you know, I don't really feel like doing this training anymore. I want to do my own thing. Oftentimes with you and your dog, you may think, oh gosh, they're tired. We should stop. There's a really big part of leadership that comes into this time in your training because it's important that I decide when we start and I decide when we stop. Now, Kalani wasn't being bad. She was just being a puppy and she was getting tired. But I had to change a few things. I had to go back and put some food in my hand. I had to be a little bit more animated with my voice and my engagement with her. I was a little bit more playing like with my motion, and she got more attention on me. And the moment we did that, then I was able to work a couple more set repetitions end on a win, and then I decide to end the training. In today's video, we covered one part of your walking training, specifically focusing on the sits, but if you'd like some more help with all of your walking training, click that video right there. And on that note, I'm Instructor Steve. And on that note, there's a fly in my glasses. This is Kilani. Happy training. Good job, Mitch. You're a good thing. You're a good thing.